roll call, please. Present. Here.
They can't hear you.
Mrs. Boland?
Here.
Mr. Carlin?
Here.
Dr. Flowers?
Present.
Mrs. Gaines?
Present.
And Mrs. Sylvia?
Here.
Okay, and we'll have Mrs. Boland will lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Please stand. Ready? Begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
Do we? Yeah, we will now have our moment of silence. Please keep the following individuals who have passed away in your thoughts and prayers. Mary Alice Raymond, mother-in-law of Elizabeth Gibbs, grade 7 teacher at TMS. John Jennings, brother-in-law of Catherine Jennings, school secretary at Pell. Catherine Lamont, aunt of Arthur Bell, PE teacher at TMS. And Elizabeth Ladner, grandmother of Justin Buffman, grade 8 teacher at TMS. Moment of silence, please. Thank you.
Mr. Chair,
Yes, Mrs. Gaines.
I'd like to move to amend the agenda, moving 2.1, 3.1, 4.1, and 5.1 to the beginning of the meeting, and eliminating from the consent agenda 7D2 and 7F1.
Second.
So that, I think we just need one correction to that, and I think it's, you started with 2.1. I believe you want to move 3.1, 4.1, and 5.1 before 2.
Before 2.1.
Before 2.1, and I believe on the consent agenda amendment, it would be 7.2, D,
2,
D2, and F1.
right.
Okay.
Second.
Motion has been made and seconded by Mrs. Boland. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. So we'll move on to 3.1. Item 3.1 is a student council update, and I believe Ben Pratt.
He's here.
Oh, he is.
Yeah.
You can sit right up here, Ben, right next to Mrs. Boland. There's a spot for you. Whenever you're ready, go right ahead, Ben.
For our fall sports teams, football traveled to Providence and beat Classical on Saturday to improve to 2-2 and they're fourth in Division 2A. Boys soccer beat Juanita Sanchez last week to improve to 2-6. Girls soccer tied with Blackstone Valley Prep and are 5-3-1. Girls tennis beat Central last week to improve to 7-3. Girls volleyball beat Narragansett to improve to 6-2. They are currently second in their division. Boys cross country split their last meet with 1 win and 1 loss. They and the girls team have 2 upcoming invitationals for their championships. This week is Spear Week at Rogers. The homecoming game is Friday night at 7 at Topa, and they host East Greenwich, who's in first place. The homecoming dance will be Saturday night at Rogers. Auditions for the winter play, A Christmas Carol, take place tomorrow after school in the auditorium. This past Saturday, over 70 students from across the state took the SATs at Rogers. Scores are expected back towards the end of this month. The next SAT will take place on November 3rd, and PSATs for juniors will take place tomorrow during school. The end of the first quarter is November 9th, and to end, the senior class had a car wash yesterday and raised over $400 to help pay for senior prom in the spring.
That's great.
Okay, thanks, Ben. We'll now move on to 4.1 is recognition this evening of Eliza Taylor. Eliza was a silver medalist in the Skills USA National Championship. She's a NACTech student in the AIoT program, and she received the silver medal in technical computing application. So Eliza's here. Come on up, and we'll present the certificate to you. Great job.
Eliza, do you want to speak to? No? Not really? Okay. All right, Mr. Chair, I just want to emphasize, this is number 2 in the country. In the country. Nice job, Eliza.
Wow.
Next item is that was 4.1. Next item is 5.1, which is the Newport experience. We'll have a presentation, and I believe Dr. Bean is going to give us the introduction for this as the kids get set up and are ready to do this presentation.
So as I mentioned last month, our goal each month is to have a presentation or two to highlight some of the incredible programs and initiatives that are going on in Newport. And we're thrilled that our Fab Newport Experience team group can be here tonight. I'd like to introduce Chris Gross, and he's going to be leading the presentation. The Newport Experience overview is a connection of community connections, career pathways, student engagement, health and wellness, and family involvement. So welcome to everyone. I'm glad you're back.
Hi, everybody. Well, first of all, thank you for having us. We had an unbelievable summer. My name is Chris Gross, and I'm a community coach for Fab Newport. We are in the Florence Gray Center in the North End, and we are a maker space, but even more than that, we specialize in creating the conditions to help kids feel comfortable and learn about their interests, their talents, and most of all, to connect them to their community and empower them to make their lives. So the Newport Experience is a 3-year program funded by the Van Buren Foundation and Frederick Henry Prince Memorial Fund at Newport Hospital. And it's supported by our great partners at Bike Newport, Newport Public Schools, Salve Regina University, and Newport's Health Equity Zone. So we had 20 students over the summer and 4 staff members, and most of them are behind me here, ages 11 to 15. 18 of them were from the Health Equity Zone, so the North End and the Upper Broadway. And what I loved is the wide variety of personalities, interests, and backgrounds, because that's what makes life interesting and awesome. And so 6 of the students were paid through EBCAP's Summer Youth Workforce Program, and the whole idea was to just get them out and active, and a whole lot of learning comes through just adventure. You know, there's not really a curriculum needed, because at Fab Newport, we believe that relationships are at the heart of learning. So relationships with each other, relationships with adult mentors, and relationships with the greater community. So in 6 weeks with bikes provided through Bike Newport, we biked over 100 miles around Newport, visiting businesses, taking tours, and connecting to its great people and opportunities. Some of these include the International Tennis Hall of Fame, Newport Boys and Girls Club, Martin Luther King Community Center, the Career Academy at NACTech, the Marriott Hotel, Northside Community Market, among many others. And most importantly, 9 of these students now serve as a volunteer or intern for some of these community partners, mainly through family connections and as a result of our trips as well. And I don't really want to take too much more time than that, because really the real reason why this summer was so incredible was because of the people behind me. Kids learn so much from each other, and really if more focus is just putting on the environment to allow that to happen, beautiful things can occur. So without further ado, here are some of these young people. So let's welcome them.
Hi, my name is Kaylee, and I was very glad to be a part of the Newport experience. And my favorite part of this summer was making a table and taking it home, and now I get to use it.
Hello, my name is Everett Price, and my favorite highlight of the Newport experience was the Annex comics. And that's why, and the reason why it was my highlight, because I could just share my experiences, and plus it was the first job that I had. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Martin, and my favorite part about the Newport experience was going to Salve and seeing the campus, and that's about it.
All right. Hi, my name is Jaden, and my highlight over the summer with the Fab Newport experience is playing sports and games with my friends. So that is my, and also, the reason I like doing it is because the outcome, or it'd be, sorry, that's my highlight.
Hi, my name is Kevin, and I was a part of the Newport experience. My highlight of the summer is swimming, and it was a good part of the summer for me, and I enjoyed it.
Hello, my name is Autumn, and my favorite part of the summer was the community dinner because we got to share our highlights of the summer, meet new people, and play some games and have some delicious food. And that's my favorite part of the summer.
Hi, my name is Lacey Brown, and my highlight over the summer was getting to meet so many new people and getting to bike with them. And then eventually I got to learn a lot of new things about Newport that I didn't know before.
And before we talk about moving forward a little bit, I don't want to put Abby on the spot, but another Fab Newport staff member that was an integral part of this summer is Abby. So I'm wondering, do you want to share a highlight?
Sure. Hey, my name's Abby. I helped run the Newport experience, and one of my highlights was watching the students overcome their fears as we went swimming off of the pier. They were really scared when we first got there, but by the end of it, we were all swimming off of it and having a great time.
So moving forward, with this program, we hope to continue working with these amazing young people because belonging to a cohesive group is so powerful because it teaches you about yourself, how you fit in a group, what your strengths are, and it gives people the courage to try new things, and that's what life's about. Trying new things, expanding yourself each and every day, and we hope to play a role in this group's lives, but then also, the greater Newport as well, because without a doubt, the greatest part of Newport are its people. So it's its greatest resource, so we would be foolish to not to not leverage that. So thank you very much for listening, and yeah, thanks for having us.
Thank you. So thank you to all the students, and thanks for taking the time out tonight to share your experiences with us. We're glad you got to do that this summer. So the next item on the agenda would be back to 2.1, which would be public comment. Mrs. Nash, is there anybody signed up for public comment?
Yes, we have Devin O'Brien.
Good evening, Devin O'Brien, 2-3 Sergeant Greenway, you know the drill. All right, first, thanks for the check, really appreciate it. But there's one thing I really don't appreciate, and it's the fact that meeting after meeting, the school committee refuses to discuss the issue of Rogers High School. Now, I know what you're gonna say. You're gonna say to wait until the bond vote, but this is still an important issue. And it's not any less important now than it will be after November. So, yeah, and disappointed in the fact that this was not discussed during the last school committee meeting. I'm enraged that this is not on the agenda for this meeting, and this is an issue that really should be cared more about by the school committee. Thank you.
That's it, Mrs. Nash?
No one else signed up.
Okay. Moving on from public comment, the next item on the agenda would be 5.2. It's a Rogers High School update on advisory, and I believe Mr. Vance is going to present that to us this evening.
So I'm Jared Vance, I'm the principal at Rogers High School. I just want to talk about a little bit about two initiatives that we've taken on this school year. One with Crew and the other one with the Chromebook initiative with our class of 2022. So I drew the short straw and had to present earlier in the year. So being a month into this work with implementing with students, it's more about what the plan is moving forward than like the results, because all of these things that I'm going to talk about take time to build capacity and buy-in and to show their impact. But in the end, like it says on the first slide, these things will be major game changers for Rogers around culture and instruction. So Crew is the rebranding of advisory at the high school. So we're not using the term advisory anymore, it's Crew, because we don't want people thinking about what old advisory was in years past, but what it is in the present state and the new things that we're doing inside of Crew. So Crew is a relationship to be nurtured, not a curriculum to be covered. So some of the work that we did over the summertime was looking at, are there formalized curriculums that we need to use in our Crew period? And that's not really the case. So the idea is we have a 9-minute check-in. We have a 9-minute check-in days 1 through 5, and that's a short window of time. But in 9 minutes, we've had training over the summertime where there are activities and things that are in place that allow for authentic conversation between staff and students. One of the things that we keep hearing over and over again is that we need to have a better connection with our kids, and so that they have somebody that they can go to in the building for support, or if they need help, or just somebody to talk to. It's one of those things where it impacts so many different aspects of the educational environment, whether it's attendance, engagement, all of those kind of larger things that we hear about as being issues. This is a way for us to tap into building relationships and trying to address those. When kids feel connected to school, they're more apt to come, they're more apt to engage, they're less than likely to behave negatively. So what we've done is we have the 9 minutes every 5 days, days 1 through 5. On day 6, we have a 39-minute. So the activities are a little richer and a little more engaging. You know, some of the pieces around like graduation and school-based activities will get pushed in through that 39-minute block, but that 9-minute check-in is really about making connections. So there's one teacher to 12 students. There might be 13 in a couple, but we're trying to keep those ratios down, and every teacher in the building has a crew. So the vision for Crew, so Rogers High School Crew focuses on the development of the whole child, on building relationships and creating a safe, supporting, and caring school community. We do this by dedicating time to intentional small group experiences that foster relationships between advisors and advisees and promotes a growth mindset. We commit to knowing all students well and to creating a sense of belonging within our school community. The specific purposes for Crew are to create opportunities for student voice and engagement, to develop self-awareness, self-management, social awareness, relationship skills, and responsible decision-making, and to learn through play and explore group dynamics. So some of the things that we've done in the beginning of the year have really been around setting the vision for Rogers moving forward. So people that were at open house saw hangings of the student, or the vision of the graduate, where kids they outlined a person and then wrote in different skills and traits that they want to see from kids that graduate from Rogers. And for the most part, it's not about content and curriculum. It's about who those kids are as people. What kind of grit do they have? What kind of passions do they bring to the table? How good are they as a person? And so those are really kind of the characteristics that travel through a person's lifetime. It's not necessarily about, do I know math, science, social studies, but what are those skills that are embedded? So we've modeled some of this with our faculty, and so then they get experience with it and then implement it into the classroom during Crew. And so we're only a month in. People are building capacity and comfort. We have a lot of crews that are really engaged and having great conversation. And as the school year moves forward, we're looking to make sure that everybody's at that same place. So to move on to our one-to-one Chromebook initiative, which is the next piece, is at the present time, all 9th graders received the Chromebook in August. And for those that weren't able to pick them up at that distribution night, we've been able to tap into each one of those students and provide a Chromebook for them. They each have a specific one that is assigned. They get to have it with them all day. They get to take it home. And then to keep it safe, we provided a case and a backpack for every freshman. So really what this does is it breaks down the walls of the traditional educational environment. So we've been able to personalize for our students. And what we mean by that is the pace, the choice, the product, the location of how education takes place. With any kind of initiative, particularly around technology, the device is the easy part. The instructional practices are the things that take a little bit longer. So right now, it's really about delivering and receiving assignments. But as we move forward, it's going to be around shifting that dynamic to the instructional practice. Some of the platforms, because we have the technologies that we have access